highest single-night gate in the arena's history, 21 consecutive sellouts, 19,442 in attendance. Performance of the nights went to Dober and Pantoja, and the fight of the night was Moreno and Kai Kara France.
What's up, Dana? Great main event. The scorecards seemed dominant, but actually in the real fight itself, it seemed a lot closer than that. What was your thoughts on the fight?
I didn't think so. I thought it was completely dominant.
You didn't think
there was 5 knockdowns in the first 2 rounds.
You didn't think any of the submission attempts at the end in the last 2 rounds she could have got one in? What did you think?
Yeah, she could have. She didn't. There's a big difference between submission attempts and knockdowns.
Fair.
Not even comparable.
What did you think of Amanda's performance overall?
I think that 2 things. I think Juliana's tough as nails, and her will to win is second to none. I mean, she wanted to win. I think as dominant as Amanda was, and she was dominant tonight, I didn't think it was close any way, shape, or form. It was a complete shutout. But she still looked a little gun-shy to me, But, going in against the person who beat you the first time, I can see that happen. But, it's stupid for me to even say that. It was an absolutely dominant performance.
You think it was gun-shy, or she was just more conscious of her cardio and wanting to...
Yeah, I think she was concerned about her cardio probably because when you think about the way that she fought Cyborg, she usually goes in and throws tons of punches. She had Juliana hurt many times. Had her on crazy legs a couple times and never really went in for the kill.
What would you like to see for Amanda next? Or she said she wanted to take some time off. You think that's reasonable?
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool. Co-main event, obviously Brandon Moreno wins the interim title. What did you think of his performance and that fight in general?
The fight was awesome. It was fight of the night on a great card with a lot of good fights. Moreno's another one. Tough, durable guy. Kai Kara France was in there to win. He got caught.
So they're obviously going to do the 4th fight with Figueiredo. I know that traditionally we don't like to see those fights 4 times, but is that a fight that's so good we could just see it play out over and over?
10 times. Yeah, it's one of those unique, freaky deals where who doesn't want to see that fight again? It's just, yeah. And I'm the worst with that shit. I hate that stuff, If you got a guy who's up 2-1 or whatever, you don't ever need to see that fight again, ever. But this is just one of those weird ones that you can.
What did you think of the Derek Lewis stoppage? Did you think it was too soon?
I think it was too soon. But to be fair, Murgliata's a great ref. The way that he fell, probably 9 out of 10 of the people in this room would have jumped on him and stopped the fight, so including me.
No. Last one from me. You have a saying that you put on fights every weekend. I don't know if you saw the news, but apparently not everyone can do that. The Jake Paul fight ended up being cancelled a week out from the bout. I wondered if you had any thoughts on it, and I know how much you love being asked about it.
Nobody can do that. Nobody can do it. And, I'm not going to sit up here and be happy or gloat that their fight fell out. Both those guys, I'm sure, put in a lot of hard work and a lot of training to get ready for this fight, spent money to get ready for this fight. But I will say this. Just because you were an accountant here doesn't mean you know what the fuck goes on here. And doesn't mean that you can run a fight promotion company. I think that Jake Paul probably needs to get some different people around him. If he's going to stay in the sport, he needs to be with guys that actually really know how to put on fights.
What did you make of the whole, his opponent was too big and...
I think they sold under $1 million in tickets and it cost $500,000 to turn the fucking lights on at MSG. That's what I think. Oh, not to mention the fact that hotel rooms in New York and transportation and everything else is very expensive. Yeah.
You would know better than me. Do they get that money back if they put a deposit on the Garden, or do they have to rearrange the date, or how does it work if you cancel out an event this close to fight night?
It depends on their deal with MSG. I don't know. That's up to them and MSG. I don't know what their deal. I know what my deal is. I don't know what their deal is.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dan, right next to him. Is there an update on Anthony? I know he injured his leg. We didn't know if it was a break or anything.
What's the question?
Was there an update on Anthony Smith? He hurt his leg in the fight.
Yeah. Did anybody? Yeah. No fracture.
Then Ankalaev was back here. He called for a title fight in his last fight, ended up fighting Anthony Smith instead. He said he's
all right. Let me answer that question. Okay, where is that actually? He says, what do I got to do to get a title? Well, you were number 4. You fought number 5, right? It's simple math on how this is going to work. He's close.
Then similar position with Pantoja. He has wins over both Kai and Brandon when they were on Tough. Who else is left for him to fight? Because now that you have the fourth fight, he seems to be the odd man out again.
It's true. And, I mean, that would be a no-brainer if he didn't just win the interim championship. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he's close. They're both very close. They're in good. You couldn't be in a better position than they're both in right now.
Yair was back here, and he said he wants to wait for Alex Volkanovski to heal, even if Alex goes after the lightweight title. Is there any update on that situation?
No. And you know how I feel about waiting.
Dana right here. Can you talk a little bit about like the state of the 145 women's division? Because, at the press conference, Juliana was pretty critical about it, saying all the real fights are at 135. But Amanda said she wants to go up to fight at 145 for her next one. So, what's the realistic possibilities for her?
Very. I mean, we'll figure it out. She's the double champ. I love the kid. I have a great relationship with her. She's been amazing to work with, and I'll do whatever she wants to do.
And I know like you don't like to make fights on the night, but yeah, is there anyone that readily comes to mind, whether it be like a trilogy with Valentina or someone else that comes to mind for the next opponent for Amanda?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Normally, I would say, come on, man. That's not a bad idea. I mean, really, when you think about it.
Okay.
I'm not saying yes. I'm just saying it's not a bad idea.
Gotcha. And I want to ask about the decision to bring Figueiredo inside the ring or inside the octagon. We never really see that.
It's, you know what? It was kind of an in-the-moment thing. And then when he got up there, I was like, well, that was fucking rude. We shouldn't. This kid is having his moment, and he's got Figueiredo standing in his face. But it happened. It wasn't horrible, and we meant no disrespect to Moreno, but came off pretty disrespectful.
Gotcha. And I caught you saying something to Kai before the announcement was read or the decision was announced. What do you say to him if you want to share?
It's just a great fight. Great fight. He said, I'll be back.
Very cool. Thank you.
Question for you. I know that we have Amanda Nunes. She's the greatest female of all time, but where do you consider amongst all fighters in that conversation for the GOAT?
All fighters?
All fighters, male and female.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you asked me that question, actually. I still consider John Jones. It's time to start talking about Kamaru Usman. He's one fight away from tying Anderson Silva. He already beat John Jones and GSP, and now he's in his next fight. If he beats Leon Edwards, he ties Anderson Silva. So, yeah, he's in the discussion.
Right now, Valentina Shevchenko, she's number one pound for pound female in the rankings. Does that change Tuesday and Amanda takes her spot back?
It's up to you guys. You guys decide those rankings, not me. But, Nunes and Shevchenko they're both two of the best ever.
Lastly, on the note of Pantoja, if we have that quadrilogy fight with Moreno and Figgy, would you make him the backup fighter for that?
It's a great idea. I like it, Shmo.
Figueiredo called for that fight in Brazil, and Brandon said he would be down to go to Brazil for the fight. Is there plans to go to Brazil next year?
Yeah, we're planning on hopefully going to Brazil next year. Again, see what this crazy world throws at us in the next 6 months.
Dana over here.
Yep.
The last time the UFC was in Dallas, there was 9 finishes out of 14 fights. This one, I believe it was 7 finishes out of 14. What does it mean for you to come back to Dallas after this long layoff, and what do you think of the event and overall?
Well, it was good to come back. I mean, we haven't been here in a long time. Sellout, incredible crowd, awesome city. We've had a blast here since we've been here. I loved it. I mean, I couldn't say enough good things. Everything here was incredible.
When can we see the UFC back in Dallas? I only asked that because I live an hour away from Dallas, so it's just convenient.
Got it. Well, we haven't left yet, but I could see us coming back much sooner than 4 years. Much sooner than 4 years. I tried, just for the record, this is the first place I tried to come back to during the pandemic. They wouldn't take us. They wouldn't let me do a full arena. Houston would. So I went to Houston 5 times. So that's why it's been so long since we've been here. You done with me?
I'll get one more.
Yes, sir.
What do you think is next for Pena?
What do you think is next for Juliana Pena?
Yeah, Juliana's got a big chunk missing from her forehead. She's going to see a plastic surgeon right now. Takes some time to heal, and then I don't know. I mean, she got pretty banged up tonight. I mean, it was like 5 or 6 knockdowns in the first 2 rounds. She was hurt. She needs to take some time off and relax, spend some time with her daughter, and then we'll go from there. Cool?
Dana over here.
Yeah.
What'd you think about Hamdi Abdul Wahhab's performance? He's now the first UFC fighter from Egypt, and now he's gotten the first win as an Egyptian fighter.
That was a badass fight too. You're talking about two big dudes with some serious cardio, man. Yeah. What's the question? What do I think? I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what's going on over in that region right now with not only this company but the sport, I said 10 years ago you're going to see some good guys coming out of this region, and now we're really starting to see it. So I just expect it to grow. We're going to first of all, and I'm glad you asked me that too. This made me think of this. Abu Dhabi is literally almost sold out. So for anybody that wants to get tickets and whatever, they're doing like VIP packages right now. Get your tickets now if you want to go. Number one. Number two, when I get there, I've been talking about this for a year. Now when we get there, I'm finally going to make all these big announcements that I've been waiting to do. Me and the government over there are ready to roll. We're ready to announce, so I'm excited. And once we implement all these things that we're working on over there, to your question, it's going to be huge for local fighters out there.
Yeah, and then what do you think about where do you go from now with Derek Lewis? Because he suffered that first round loss, but it could have debatable that it was an early stoppage.
I like the ref, but I wouldn't debate that was an early stoppage. It was definitely an early stoppage. When you jump right back up like that and you're ready to go, and listen, he was a little rocked, but no more rocked than Juliana was. 3-4 times during the fight, and she fought 5 rounds. Murgliata made a mistake, and it happens. But, yeah, so I don't think it diminishes Derek Lewis at all. I would have liked to have seen that fight go on.
So do you think he kind of keeps his ranking right now in the heavyweight division?
It's a good question. I mean, that's up to you guys. We'll see what happens on Tuesday after you guys do the rankings.
Thanks.
Cool.
Dana, following up here on the Dallas question, I saw an article on Dallas Morning News, I believe, where they talked about AT&T Stadium, and you said that I guess that's a possibility that you've tried with Jerry Jones, but not yet. So is there a timetable for that venue, considering, Canelo has fought there twice, Manny Pacquiao, you're a boxing fan as well. So as far as AT&T Stadium, when could we possibly see that?
Yeah, we've been talking, Jerry and I for 10 years about that, but it's just, you just got to, here's my thing. I'm all about the experience. I'm all about the right experience. I'm not about throwing 100,000 people in a stadium to, like in here tonight. Even if you're in, the cheapest seats, you're still part of the fight. I mean, if we do it at Dallas, Texas Stadium, it's gonna be like watching guys fucking ants fight on this thing right here. You know what I mean? If you're in the wrong seats, and that's not the experience that I want. You end up watching most of it on the big screen. I like arenas. I like I like tonight. I like feels like that. I like 15 to 25,000.
Yeah, I get it, absolutely. And obviously, at the time, I think GSP was here when you guys did a tour, and I can't remember who else, Johnny Hendricks. So also, would you need like the star caliber athlete for that as well?
Well, yeah, you need to sell 100,000 tickets. I mean, you can't just throw anybody in one of those fights. You got to have the right fight at the right time. But we've also had really good experience. Ronda and Holly in a soccer stadium in Australia was pretty awesome. The GSP fight, like you mentioned, that we did in Toronto was awesome in a big stadium. So I don't know. I like arenas better though.
Thank you.
Yep.
Me, Dana. So whenever you pick a card and you pick a location like in Dallas, do you look at if that fighter is from the home state? Like you had Alex Moreno, he fights out of Houston, and then you had Derek Lewis, obviously, who fought out of Houston.
Fight promoting 101. The guy on the main card absolutely positively has to be from the place that you're holding the fight, okay? And then when people get so big that they turn into massive superstars, you would do it in Atlantic City, Las Vegas, or Madison Square Garden, right? And sometimes the Staples Center, depending. We were just talking. What was it? Arizona that we were talking about that day. What was the nationalities? Yeah. Huh? Yeah. So think about this. What the UFC has been doing lately, right? We're in Arizona with an Italian from fucking Italy, right? And a kid from New Zealand. And it sells out and the place is going. It's just, you know, when you really think about how much we've changed the game on so many different levels, including the way fights are sold, promoted, and, you know, where they're held, it's pretty crazy, you know? Me, Crawford, and Tyson were saying tonight, imagine growing up thinking that you could sell out an arena in Dallas, Texas with 2 women and break the arena record where the Mavericks play. Think about that.
So do you feel like now you can sell out anywhere you go at this point? Is that how far, the company has grown?
Well, we have been. I mean, we're on our 21st straight sellout. I wouldn't be as arrogant to say that I think we could sell out anywhere we go. But we're on a hell of a run.
Just going off of that, Dana, does that mean promoting has, in your experience, become easier as you guys have gotten bigger, or harder because people see how big you are and are harder to deal with?
It's never. Let me tell you what. This thing is anything but easy. You know what I mean? It's why so many people, this looks so easy and it's fun. It's exciting to be around. It's this is literally the dream job for all of us. I mean, you guys get to sit in the best fucking seats, cover the best sport, watch the best fights in the world. But it's not easy. There's a formula to this whole thing, and many people who are a lot smarter than me and have a lot more money than me have tried to do it and failed. I don't know if I answered your question, but it ain't fucking easy. That I can tell you. You deal with so many outside forces in this thing, from injuries to personal problems to we just go on for days with all the stuff that we deal with behind the scenes and that our lawyers have to deal with and our PR people have to deal with, and the list goes on and on. Good? Have a great night. Thanks, Dallas.
Okay. Let's start it.
Well, Brian, congratulations on getting the interim title. What does it feel
Thanks,
like
man.
to have a belt in front of you again?
Man, my goodness. First of all, I'm so happy, since my last fight in January in Anaheim, I was like very frustrated, like very sad, disappointment with myself, with my performance, because I said this before in the interviews, like I still thinking I won that fight, but you always has this battle in your mind battlefield where you need to you are trying to put the ego behind and try to pass the page and try to learn try to learn about it, and at the end, right now, I feel I did it. You know, again, after the last fight, I started to make a lot of decisions, really hard decisions. I did a lot of changes. Obviously, it's part of the human beings when you don't know something, like something is scary, right? But something good about my career, I never had this scare enough to don't take those decisions, and I did it. And right now, I feel everything is in the correct place again.
Well, you guys won fight of the night, obviously, so it wasn't.
Let's go, money.
It was an exciting fight. Is that the type of performance you expected from Kai, given the time between both of your fights?
It was nice. It was an amazing surprise. You know, it was a. I have a lot of respect for Kai Kara France, and you know I had 3 fights in a row with Davison where he started to throw me a lot of trash talk, and then I start to get angry and I start to answer back, but. Was very refreshed to be in some like interview against Kai or whatever when the guy was like very respectful with me, and yeah, definitely I was a little bit surprised with he was a little bit more smart in the middle of the fight. I knew he will try to make the counter after my jab, throwing the light kick. You know, in my last fight against Davison, he killed me with the light kicks, but I was like working every single day and fix those mistakes, you know, with James, with my coach Capetillo, with my coach Hoya, that part of the striking. And I did it, and I feel amazing in the fight. Obviously, the 3rd round was a little bit a mess, but we did it.
And the kick that put him down, did you know that you could capitalize on that technique, or did you just see an opening and took advantage of it?
Again, please, I don't understand that.
Was that the game plan, or did you just see an opening during the fight?
What, the kick?
The kick that put him down.
I don't know. I think it was part of his game plan, right? Like he threw me. I mean, I was trying to throw the left to the head, but I had like my Muay Thai coach like, man, you throw the kick bad, so that's why the guy make the counter. Like, oh, okay, sorry. So yeah, I went to the ground. He connected me the elbow. I knew I had some troubles in that moment, so my mentality was like, okay, I need to save or try to recover this round, so I need to be a little bit more aggressive in the future.
And Figueiredo came in at the end of the fight. Dana was in here, and he said he thought it came off disrespectful. He didn't like how he came in and took your moment. I'm curious if you felt that way in the moment.
Ah, man, I don't care. You know, I promise I was like ready to throw everything against him in that moment. He was in Dallas since like 2 days ago. I saw him in the lobby in the hotel, and you know, man, I was ready to take the mic and let's go, motherfucker, let's go for the 4-1. But man, everything I say was real, man. My daughter, my older daughter is Madison. She has 8 years old. Man, now she understands everything, or not, but she will understand. And I don't know. I knew I had the opportunity to be a better example for her. I don't want it for her like, you know, his dad doing stupid things in television, right? So I don't know. I just took the spot to, man, brother, you know, I forgive you for everything, and please forgive me if I did something bad against you, and that's it. But don't be confused. I want to fight against you.
He wants to do it in Brazil. Is that something you would be interested in?
I don't care, man. We can go to wherever. If he wanna go to Brazil, we can go to Brazil. The problem is, he say he will be ready for the winter. He will be ready for December. But you know, for example, the last pay-per-view of the year is normally in Vegas. So we'll see what happens in the future. I just want to fight before at the end of the year. I've been waiting for him a long time. Like I fought in December 2020, then June 2021, one more time in this year in January 2022. So I want to have one more fight before at the end of the year. Who's next?
Congrats on the win, Brandon.
Thank you.
You know, Kai was talking about in the lead up that, you know, he was a completely different fighter. Did you feel like that he had evolved that much more from the first fight?
Man, he was smarter than the last fight. You know, we were like watching his last fights against, NASCAR, against Cody Garbrandt, and he started to feel like very confident when the other guy don't put pressure on him. But when the people start to put pressure on him, he started to feel very uncomfortable. So that was my game plan. But at the same time, he was like very smart doing the counter after my jab, throwing the light kicks. That hurt me a little bit. I feel like I fixed my mistakes from my last fight in January, and I closed a little bit my footwork, and I opened a little bit more my guard to try to defend his right hand. He's like, man, the guy punch hard. He's a little bit small, more than Figueiredo, but he punched hard with the right hand. So I don't know. I was just surprised he was a little bit more smarter, and I had some problems when I started to find my right distance. Bam.
Gotcha. And how was it to prepare for a different opponent other than Davison for at least the past 3 fights, even though it was a rematch still? But how nice was it to prepare for somebody different, you know, and work with James? You know, James is now a championship level coach, thanks to you. So.
Man, he's how you say champion? What?
He's a championship level coach now that you gave.
He's a championship level coach since like long time ago, man. I mean, that's why I went with
UFC type, right?
I went with him for that. You know, everybody asked me why I went with him when the new was, you know, in social media or whatever. And like, man, I mean, I know maybe he doesn't have like too many champions like AKA or American Top Team or whatever, but I mean, I can see his passion, and I can see he's a crazy guy, a nerd who loves this sport, and he will be like there trying to get that title with me. So that's why I took the decision to go with him. And for us, was very refreshed, at least for me. Maybe no for James because it was the first time, but for me, it was very refreshed. Like, okay, different game plan, different phase, so let's go.
And
Amanda, congratulations on getting your belt back. Before we get into the actual fight, physically, how are you feeling right now? We saw you come up here with crutches.
Yeah, a couple things here, but I don't think it's anything that bad. It just like I hurt it pretty bad right now. I didn't even know what it is in my eyes. But physically, like I feel amazing. I could go 6 rounds tonight, 7. So I'm very happy.
Was the minor injuries, was it a specific moment, or was it just the whole fight as a whole played a factor in it?
I have to watch again. But I don't know if I felt a headbutt too or something like that. But I'm not sure. I have to watch.
Well, in terms of the fight, is that how you expected it to play out? The first few rounds, it looks like you were telling her to get back up frequently, and you were finding success. I think you dropped her 3 times in the second round, and then in the later rounds, you were willing to take her down and kind of elbow her and cut her open. Is that how you saw the fight playing out?
Yeah, all strategy. Everything tonight was all strategy, and the main thing was my southpaw. Yeah. Who I know I'm gonna catch her with that tonight. I know she know would be able to adjust that. She's not a striker, you know, and when she started feel comfortable was exactly what I want. I wanted she feel comfortable a little bit in the fight to I started taking her down. So, and tonight was all about strategy.
When you did go out there as a southpaw, what did you see in her eyes when you surprised her with that?
Confused. She was so confused. And I'm not very good yet with my southpaw. Just was I talked to my coach I'm going to try to see how I feel. And I tried tonight, and I feel good. And every time that I was to my original stand, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to the southpaw. So I was working, and especially for my takedowns that I was waiting for her to get like excited to wanna kill me. So like those moments I have to like expect for her because I know when she saw a couple times she connected too, and I know she's gonna really like pressure me, and then I know I'm gonna shine in those moments with my takedowns.
Were you surprised at how tough she was? She took a pretty big beating. I know a lot of people thought the fight was close, but Dana was in here, and he said it was absolute domination the whole fight.
Yeah, who say that? It was close.
The commentators were saying it was a good, tough, close fight, but Dana thought it was a blowout.
Well, I didn't even know who was commentating that. So, what was the question?
Were you surprised at how tough she was?
No, I know Juliana stuff. Like I know. I was always ready for that. You know, I could finish her, but I want to go 5 rounds with her tonight to prove I was better than her.
And how was the fight with your new corner in your new camp for your first time?
Amazing.
And finally, is the plan still to go up to 145 next, or would you like to see what happens at 135 to defend the belt again?
Let me see. I didn't even know yet. Let's see what we're gonna do. I have to talk to Dana to see.
Hey, Amanda, congrats.
Thank you.
When Dana was in here, I asked him about, what could possibly be next for you, when he doesn't matchmake on the night of fights. But I suggested a trilogy with Valentina, and he said he liked that idea. So what do you think about running back with her again?
Yeah, good. So she's a champion too. That would be awesome.
I don't know if you saw her tweet or not, but she did say that you essentially stole her whole style in the stand-up game tonight. So
that's funny. She have to put out there something to stand out. Because right now, as a champion, Valentina, she lost her last fight, So I really think if Tyler don't got those headbutt, that fight could be way different.
And one question about the fight tonight with Juliana. At the press conference when she said, she was going to do pretty much everything under the sun, like all these illegal things in the fight. But there were some moments where we saw her grabbing your gloves, and I believe someone even said that they saw her trying to bite her way out of the choke attempt. Did you feel any of that stuff going on? And, did you say anything to her in those moments?
No. I want to watch again to see those moments. So was very slippery too, It's like I know she I think the blood as well. I know was be able to get like a good finish. And when I went to the rear naked choke, like she was slippery too. She was defend as well, of course. But at that point, I say what? I just gonna prove it. I'm better than her in every way right now. I'm gonna just hang out here. She tried to finish it, But I couldn't let it out go, It's like she did everything she could, but I'm better than her, I prove it tonight.
Amanda, I want to thank you for coming back here, after such a war and feeling the way you do. You mentioned there's something going on health-wise that you're not sure about. What do you mean by that? Or physically feeling after the fight, or maybe
couple things he was during the fight. So my foot, I have to see what it is, and my face too. There's recovery, like always. It was a war tonight, I expect come out with something, but it's gonna be fine.
You dominated the fight, from start to finish. Probably Pena's strongest moment was the armbar. Did you feel it at all in any danger during that time?
No, I didn't. So I was just getting my ready to defend well, and I know she's gonna spend so much energy with that. She put everything in that. I don't know, but my arm is pretty good with armbar. It's not my arm is. I don't tap it easy with armbar. I know I would get out of that. I just let her spend energy as much as possible to be able to dominate her.
At what point in the fight did you feel like I got this? Was it when you knocked her on her butt the first time, or
when my takedown was working, and I saw she was not have anything to do. She tried everything she has, and then nothing worked, and then I knew right away I have the fight.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Champ, congratulations. You're clearly the greatest female to ever step foot in the octagon. What more do you feel you have left to prove to add to your legacy?
You know, I did everything already. Now I have the belt, and I'm just gonna keep going. You know, so this is what something. This is something that's I have to do. Just keep going. You know, and I did everything already. I'm very happy, and yeah. Thank you.
Question over here. Looking back at the first fight with Juliana, would you consider that more of a fluke, you know, losing that fight because you had COVID and you had an injury? Would you kind of confidently say that was more of a fluke versus this fight and having, you know, a more prepared camp?
Yeah, tonight I was definitely prepared for that. My last one, I have a hard one. I have COVID, and I have to jump in camp right away. Right after, I still feel very bad. And I recovered from COVID during the camp, you know. Like, I didn't know how I'm going to feel after. Like, I didn't know anything. and during the process, I still hurt my knee, and it was just a mess. And I was be able to really get ready how I like to, you know. Especially for a girl that's very tough, you know. Juliana is tough. Give a lot of credit for her, you know. And yeah, tonight I was proving, you know, that was like a lucky day for her. You know, if she needed that, if she needed to become a champion like that, she had her time, but now it's over.
And then was the game plan for you to do more damage on the feet first before, you know, going for the takedowns later in the fight, or, you know, welcoming yourself into her guard? What was the game plan?
Yeah. Everything tonight was a game plan. Even like she's gonna go crazy, she's gonna connect, and she's gonna like come in with everything. And then this is the time we're gonna drop the level and then take her down. I know I'm more stronger than her. You know, my wrestling is way better than hers. My jiu-jitsu, my ground game. I just have to be precise in everything, like I was today. So, and I was. Literally, my body was like amazing. I could go 6-7 rounds, no problem. Like, especially when I started like do some damage in the floor with my elbows. So I give a lot of credit to her, you know. I don't have any bad blood. I feel like she helped me a lot, you know. I like the challenge. I feel like I function with the challenge. If I don't have any challenge to push me, to threat me, you know, Juliana is a very good threat, you know. So I bring the best of me when I feel trapped, you know. So like, oh shit, she might can do this for me. So, and I shine in those moments. That's why I really like those fighters that's bring the best of me in those moments. Talk shit, talk this, say all those things. I love that.
And then finally from me, where would you rank her jiu-jitsu amongst all opponents that you faced? Because the first couple of rounds, you didn't just jump into her guard whenever you knocked her down. You didn't just, you know, pounce on her.
You know, like, was all strategy. You know, I don't want to go in there. Why I have to? If I might can knock her out if she get up. So I want to really make some damage and let her, she stay there, hang out there, and then wait for her to get up. And I just want to, like, be able to prove, like, okay, I can knock you out, but, like, I can take you down anytime I want. And we can hang out here in the floor. You can try finishing me, but you can. I know how to defend. You know, my jiu-jitsu is better than yours. I'm a black belt. So my jiu-jitsu, my wrestling coach is right there, Patrick. So I have a very good wrestling coach. That's a guy that's compete since he young in college. So I know that would be a very good adjustment in my camp when I call him, and then he drive 2 hours to help me. 2 hours, you know, and we make that happen tonight, and I always be able to show takedowns and really make him proud too, and also Bobby too, that's helped me with my ground game and adjust everything. So that's talk to me like, oh, whatever you want, just call me. Like, if we want to stay here all night, all day long, train jiu-jitsu, you're going to be here. So thank you to Roger. What I'm going to say about Roger, Roger's always there for me in big fights, 200, Ronda Rousey, Valentina, many times. And he bring him back to my corner was like easy to adjust, was I just make him a call and then like, let me know, girl. I make time, let's do this. And Nina, let's everybody know, that's helped me since day one. So I'm very happy to be able to have a good team.
Amanda over here. Do you feel like the first loss to Pena was like a blessing in disguise because of how much you were able to grow from that loss and to become the best Amanda Nunes that you could be?
Definitely. That fight helped me a lot. I learned so much about myself in that fight. That's like make me very strong after that. The fire, I was telling you guys the whole week, like the fire that's lost the belt, give it to me was like, especially for her, That's why somebody that talks so much and says so many things. And for me, like, just making me powerful, All the words she say about me and everything, just making me hungry, a lioness. I say in the cage, when the lioness go for the first time to get the prey, then even all the time the lion get it, But I have to set the trap, and the second time I will get you. And tonight was the night, When I look at her in front of me, say like, this is my food. I'm a lioness. Thank you, guys.